We have the opportunity to make a habit of empathy, to recognize ourselves in each other.
My name is Shoshi Morginn. I'm living in Reno, Nevada right now, and really it's congruent with my traditional Native values to be involved in service kinds of work, healing kinds of work, and I see NVC as a particular modality that's really effective, how we speak through the heart. So practicing this is really congruent with my traditional values. I've been a critical care nurse, so what we're doing is also congruent with like cardiac nursing, taking care of the heart out front before the heart breaks open physically. So that's a lot of what motivates what I'm doing. I'm really interested in learning how to understand others in a way that's not about me trying to get them to do something different, but just out of my pure wanting to connect with them through understanding what matters to them. And I love doing that because it really gives me a sense of connection that's authentic, that's real, that's grounded in what, like underneath all the stories. And it's a way to really cut to the chase in the work I do with my clients. I'm working as a coach also. So empathy is just like what greases the whole communication model. It's the single most effective way that I have found so far, in looking. And connection is for me maybe the very top of my needs underneath basic survival things, is connection. I'm very intuitive, empathic. I've actually been called empathic in my life, and just through this way of talking about empathy through nonviolent communication, I'm getting more words to wrap around it so I can communicate about that to other people. But when I'm understanding someone, when I'm really getting a sense of what matters to them, through them confirming that my guesses are correct, I feel a real softening and opening. The heart opens. There's a real entrainment between me and that person, and I'm able to also sense maybe deeper things that might serve them in our conversations. So it gives me access to what's behind the door with them.
So it seems like there's this deepness, deeper quality that can...
Oh yeah, it's all about depth, really depthful, meaningful about what matters most. Those just right down to the in this day and age when there's so much at stake, I'm really interested in the kind of effectiveness that can happen out of having that quality of connection with anybody. It's not just clients, but everybody, for people to actually have the experience of being seen and gotten. And it sounds like people call different things empathy. But for me, what that is, listening for what matters to other people and seeing if I'm understanding it correctly the way they're saying it, really checking in with them to see if that's what they mean, is the most effective way for me to stay self-connected in their presence. It creates an unbreakable heart-to-heart bond in the space of which a lot of other really exciting things can happen. Like anything becomes possible in that space. So there's an expansiveness that happens. I love that. There, in terms of the body, spirit, there's a real spiraling up together, a real joining of our energy fields where we really don't see each other as different, but we see each other having different points of view that are very valuable to each of us. So it creates a space, this checking things out with each other around what matters in terms of feelings and needs. That's what empathy is for me, is a way to create that expansive container or a doorway through which all these wonderful strategies can come that we haven't even thought of before. It's a way of getting outside the box and really finding that we have lots of other companions outside the box. And I want as much help as possible in what we're doing together because it's more fun.
There's something about mirror neurons, I don't know if you've heard that, where one thing NVC does is you mirror with words, right? Am I getting what you're doing? And I'm using this as kind of like a bit of an experimentation here, is mirroring kind of the movements that you're doing.
Oh, so that's what you're actually. So okay.
I was trying to get a sense. So thanks for kind of going
along.
Yeah. Trying to, and actually in a previous interview I did, I kind of mirrored. And it seemed that mirroring was a way of kind of moving, not just words but in feeling. So I was kind of playing with that a little bit.
Yeah, experimenting with that to see if it would, the purpose being to really help connect. So it's about connection for you too.
Right. So
yes.
How can I connect to you?
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And the empathy of reflecting back. So Well, that's one of the definitions is the feeling part, and you're deepening empathy through this reflection.
Yes, but I'm hearing concern among some folks who have different ways of processing information. Some of us label those as conservative thinkers. There's a concern over there, not trusting that whole way of describing what empathy is, and really wanting to find something that lands for them. So, what I'm trusting is that when they have an experience of empathy, personally, that is visceral for them, that they'll have the sensations in their own body that they enjoy, maybe. Or maybe it'll bring up some concern if they feel themselves opening, in the space of a conversation. That could go on also because there's a need for protection around some of this stuff, or they're not trusting it totally, but those sensations might still happen. So I don't know that there's a way to actually put words on it that would actually be meaningful for folks with that kind of listening, because they're already screening out a lot, and the feelings and needs and those kind of things sound like they're triggering words to folks like that who are listening. So I'm interested in finding other ways. That's why I'm excited about what you're doing, quite frankly. I just have a huge, I'm sure you've gotten this also, but there's just this huge need to express appreciation, and that I felt the first time I saw the videos on the screen, and I'm glad to be able to say it to you directly, knowing that you're doing what you're doing with the consciousness that I see you're bringing to it. It just meets needs of mine for partnership, to know that there are collaborators who care passionately about what this kind of medicine that we carry. I say love is the medicine that we carry, and empathy is one way of actually helping us get in touch with that together. So that would be the thing. In the Native culture, we say chante ishta. That's a Lakota phrase. It means to speak from the heart, to listen with the heart. That this is where we need to be listening from and responding from. Chante ishta.
Do you speak Lakota, or is that
only enough words to make it fun for me? Yeah.
Is there a word for empathy, or in Lakota?
I think that's built into chante ishta,
Okay.
which means to listen through the heart, to speak from the heart. Yeah. I think that sums it up, because that's what it's about. And yeah, I think that anything more than that would be pretty redundant. We could have fun with it, but
this is a little,
yeah.
I asked for about a metaphor, and there's also like in physical, there's I think the sign language for empathy is like this.
With the fingers, those middle fingers
it's
like that?
I think it's the middle fingers, which is kind of like empathizing, feeling. I think it's like feeling.
Oh, yeah, I get
the
chills
person.
doing that even, just like in terms of your feel too. You just get a sense of that. So maybe there's something wiser to that or deeper to that we don't even understand, but that they're just instinctively drawn to do that.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a,
Yeah.
I was wondering if
Just
you
a
had
feeling
if
thing.
you had a sign like that, what would your sign be for
Definitely
empathy?
a smile. Yeah, just a open face. Yeah, being transparent, and it might not always look like a smile. It might really reflect that I'm really getting a sense of how important this is to you, and communicating that through my eyes. But yeah, the whole body thing. I think we're much more sensitive to each other's feels than we've been able to really pinpoint.
Yeah, I feel it. It's very nice. It's like
Yeah.
I feel it. I'm just kind of enjoying that openness. So it's very.
Yeah, the feel's really big and open when there's a sense of safety and trust, and it's not cluttered up with any kind of concern for self-protection or anything like that. And that's
Well,
the world I want to live in.